Happy Warrior Wednesday. I want to talk to you for just a moment about how we do everything in slow-mo. And like, I woke up at 1:30 this morning and it took me around 5:30 to get the shower. So that's why we call it shower marathons, because it takes us forever, like sometimes a week, to get to the shower. But we get around to it and then we rest. We do antiemetics, our ZAP protocol, to manage the nausea and vomiting. Zofran and Phenergan is the ZAP protocol. And when we say debilitating, nausea and vomiting and fatigue, we mean debilitating. Like, you have to rest to get to the second part of the like drying our hair and the process. So I just want to illustrate that just for a moment. But the bigger part of what I wanted to share was I had done the post about the Thanksgiving traditions, and I wanted to just expand on that for just a moment about how we can rewrite our own traditions and share with you. It's, I guess, going on almost 20 years or so, maybe a little more, of living with chronic. And when we say chronic and chronic warriors and Warrior Wednesday, and shout out to April GP for putting the tag on here and then inspiring the extra tags to go with. I redid the Spoony Sunday instead of Soulful Sunday because I think it would mean more. So we have Share a Story Saturday, Spoony Sunday, Motility Monday, TPN Tuesday, To Be Tuesday, and Warrior Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Fact Friday, Green for GP on those days, so we inspire more advocacy. But to go back to the Thanksgiving, and speaking of my beeping on my pump, sorry, I wanted to expand on that just for a moment, because when you don't get to the Thanksgiving all at one time, but I wanted to expand on it just to give an illustration of how you can rewrite your Thanksgiving to make sure that everyone is good, and how you can be okay with the have-tos and the expected tos and the process. And part of how you get to being okay is, from moment to moment, we don't know what our day is going to be like. And being okay with that is a process. And you know how people will say grieving is a process? So is accepting our diagnosis and being a warrior and coming to how we live our chronic life is a process. So getting to how we do our new chronic life is a process, and we each do it individually. So why wouldn't doing our Thanksgivings be a process as well? Why wouldn't we rewrite our Thanksgiving? I believe we can each do our Thanksgiving in any way we want to. We don't have to have a stuffed turkey, cranberry, turkey dinner to have Thanksgiving. It doesn't have to be that way for it to be a Thanksgiving dinner. And I think chronic teaches us to expand our minds into a new Thanksgiving, and we can learn new things. If we have a homeless shelter near us and we can have enough spoons and energy to volunteer at one, part of the family could do that and a movie, while another part does something else. Maybe they want to do whatever activity they choose, or friends do one thing while part of the family does something else. Or say you wake up and you have a chronic migraine, or your vomiting and nausea is having you to be in bed or curled up with a heating pad while part of the family is doing something else. The pieces of your chronic life for your rewriting of your Thanksgiving tradition happens in pieces. And the rewriting of your Thanksgiving tradition, it happens in stages. But you can rewrite it and get like a can of cranberry. If your canned cranberry defines your Thanksgiving, well, get your canned cranberry or either pre-order your Thanksgiving dinner and do what's necessary to make it work for you. Because nobody says that everybody has to be sitting around the Thanksgiving table with a turkey stuffed, and stuffing and dressing and cranberry for it to be Thanksgiving dinner. It can be sitting around and having pizza. And maybe you need to get the can of cranberry for it to be Thanksgiving. Then get a can of cranberry. I wanted to just share that thought and those accumulated pieces of how I arrived at where I am, because I'm fine if I wake up and I have a migraine. I hope I've given enough to my family so that they know I love them. Whether I'm able to do Thanksgiving or not, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay if I have to do the ice pack on my head, heating pad on my tummy, and the low-lit TV for distraction. If they're happy, I'm happy. And I hope you are too, with much love.